Today we're going to talk about how my biggest short film almost became my biggest nightmare. Hey guys, my name is Matthew and I am a current film student and aspiring cinematographer. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's on my channel now. I will link it probably down below. If not, you can just click on my channel and view it. It's called Torn. It is, in my opinion, one of my best short films I've ever made. It's one of my favorite ones that I've ever made. It was a lot of fun to shoot, but it was close to being a huge disaster, and I will play a lot of clips from that short film throughout this video just to kind of show and talk about a lot of points. So the first little beginning bit, when the car comes in, all of that was fine. When we have the actor, which is my friend Brandon, he's a massive help to everything I do with my film stuff. We have him, in the driver's seat. All of this is fine. All of this goes very well. I think I missed maybe one or two shots when we were doing this originally. There wasn't really much dialogue. It was a lot of just like visual storytelling. So outside from shots like this where it is out of focus, this is one of my first ones I was actually using, the camera I'm using now, which is my Canon R50. The first ones I actually used a real camera for to shoot. The rest of the ones I've done before this, it was all on my iPhone only. So, pulling focus and all of that, even though I practiced, I believe, for about 2 weeks before this, trying to make sure that I had it down packed. It's hard, man. It is very hard. Even now, as I'm watching this, I had to go through like 4 different times and check my phone just to see if I was in focus. I'm still looking at myself in the monitor, a little concerned that I'm not in focus, but if it happens, it's a good point to make for this. It is hard to get focus right on such small screens. Focus assist options on cameras are so huge, and then having the nice big monitors where you can see way clearly, or way clearer, is just so important to have. It is an absolute game changer. It would have helped me a lot here, but we don't really have much of a budget, so we were just kind of doing what we could, and I'm happy with how it turned out. But this is around when it started to kind of get a little messy. So at this point in the shoot, we were maybe an hour and a half in. A couple setbacks, when you're shooting in public, that's normal. We had gotten everything down right with the car, except we forgot there was an original transition that I had. And it was supposed to be almost like the car goes into complete darkness. Well, the original plan was it was like this bed sheet, or I think it was a bed sheet or a flat sheet, something like that, to kind of throw on the car fast to make it seem like, everything just changed all at once, to do it all on camera, because my post skills aren't really that good. I'm not that great of an editor. I'm okay. So it did not go nearly as well. If I still have any of that footage, I will kind of put it in with this just to kind of show you how bad it was. Lights were showing through it. It was a mess. It looked horrible. It didn't work. So at that point I knew we were gonna have to do some reshoots, which sucked. So instead of the car blackout like I was talking about, the new little thing was the cop out chloroform and from the guy in the back seat. That's actually my hand, because I couldn't get Nick back in here. He was the one that's in the it's like the black thing that's covering his face, and he's got the hood up. That was my friend Nick. We couldn't get him back out here, so this is my hand in the jacket that is way too small. It doesn't fit me. I mean, it clearly looks like my hand with just no bracelets on or anything, but it worked for the story. We were able to get it in, and then we have the transition into the dream world, which that's where it was supposed to kind of tie in with all we see is the actor and the black void around him. We don't actually see anything else. Didn't quite work that way, but what we were able to come up with, I feel like still does fit the story pretty well. And I'm very happy with how this one came out. The lighting setup for this as well was not my favorite, and it was actually way harder than I expected it to be with him being in total darkness. So Some of these just frames right here. So we have him lit nicely from one side, and then we don't have any fill light on his face. It's basically just negative fill. Negative fill, if you don't know what it means, it's basically instead of any kind of light bouncing off of something, or like how we have a fill light right here touching me now, there's just nothing, and there's a black material that kind of filters out any light, so it makes their face even darker on one side. So if I'm remembering right, we had a softbox on one side of him, and then up above I was using one of my little LEDs. Took the LED, and I think we actually used gaff tape, because there's a rafter up above him. We did this in his shed. There's a rafter up above him, and I'm trying to figure out how to kind of put the light, and I'm like, let's just tape it. Let's just put a bunch of tape on it, try to angle it right, because we're just trying to get a little bit of shininess on his hair, so that way we can actually see a little bit of separation for our actor. And it does work pretty well. The red jacket also helps a lot with not falling too much into the darkness. He gets a little bit of separation, but man, it was more difficult than it should be, and the shed is very, very small and compact. And it shows a lot more on the ones where it's like he's talking to the other person, or he's talking to himself. But for this shot, I had to have Nick as a stand-in, so we have that look of the same jacket, and we're shooting it from a different angle, so it's a little bit harder to tell. You can still tell that it's not the same person, obviously, but it's a little bit harder to tell that it's not the same person, and we can see that same light giving him a lot of shine just on that side of his forehead, because I think as well we used the same angle, if I'm not mistaken, or we kind of switched him back. It was one of the two. This was over a year ago. If I'm not mistaken, I think we shot it from the same angle, because we put the backdrop up using the same rafter. So yes, we would have had to have used the same angle and just have him come to the other side, which explains why the fill light is the same, because I think I actually flipped the footage in post to create that kind of 180 rule without actually having a 180 rule. It was all shot using just the same angle. I don't even think I moved the camera actually for it, besides making a low shot or a low angle onto it. But so I had forgotten to have any kind of like symbolism for the two different pathways that he, is going towards. Spoilers, obviously, this is all spoilers. I'm talking about the whole thing, but I forgot that as well. I mean, just the amount of stuff in pre-production that I had labeled. I had schedules, I had my shot list, everything down to a T. It just all goes out the window. I mean, if you've filmed before, and especially if you're a one-man band, it all goes out the window once the camera hits record. It's all, okay, what can we get practically? What can we do right this second? Does this look good? If you're a one-man band, it is one of the hardest things possible to do. So the last scene where he's in the car, this actually worked out a little bit perfectly, because the area we were in, if you remember, was very, very lit, because there was just a lot of like street lights around. Well, we went back to his house in the little country-ish part, and it's just darkness. There's nothing around. So it actually worked out very, very well, because the last little part where he kind of wakes up, it is blurry, and I am not memeing here when I say this. I did want this to be out of focus a lot, because this is supposed to be like when he's kind of like waking back up, he's real foggy headed. There's just one single light touching him from the distance, and it's almost like spotlighted into the car. So we had to do this a few times for him to kind of come up, and we had the fake blood going down the side of his face, just so you can kind of see it. Just like a little concussion effect. I just thought it was kind of cool. Everyone loves to say it's an artistic choice when it's out of focus. I will be the first one to tell you it was not an artistic choice for most of these, but this one it actually was. And that was roughly how it was supposed to end. It was supposed to be very vague, But before we did the reshoots and I went ahead and just put everything that we had together in DaVinci and I was looking back at it, I realized this was bad. This was very bad. Everything had to be redone. We needed more polish. And that's when I wanted to add the scene of, you know, him in the park. He took up his passion. He went the way that he wanted to go. And, you know, just kind of hammering home that he's much more happy now. Going through with his choice. Oh man, but that is how one of my most successful and most professional short films was almost my biggest nightmare. I was that close to blowing a very good opportunity to showcase a lot of my, you know, just talents that I've learned and skills that I've learned just in making, you know, little short films. I've done about 10 now. Little short films and projects, some released, some unreleased, and man, that one felt like it was going to be my most professional one, and I was that close to blowing it. And you just find a way, you know, if you really want to do it and go through, you know, trying to learn this. And I'm nowhere near a professional. I'm a little film student, just kind of doing what I can, but I love the industry so much. And it's all I want to do, man. It's all I want to do. So just knowing I was able to come back from something that was just so disastrous, it's a big confidence boost going forward, and you really see exactly what you're made of in those kind of moments. But yeah, that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You know, any short films you've done, any disastrous stories, or maybe you just thought this was funny. Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.